Hi friends, it's Sarah from Ruffles and Rainboots.com, and today we are going to make some sweet little rope gnomes. These are ornaments or tassels you can put on anything you'd like, and if you'd like to make them boop, whoa, stick around. As always, please like this video so I know you're here crafting. So if you are new here, I always show you every little detail I can about these so you can make a decision on whether you want to make them. So if you do want to make them, we're going to need some macrame cord. You can use whatever thickness. We've got a 3mm and a 5mm. You just need two various sizes. I'm going to be using some green tape with just artist tape, masking tape. I'm going to be using wood beads for the noses, but you can use cabochons, you can use pom-poms, you can use holiday ornaments, whatever, bells. I'm going to use scissors and a slicker brush because it's easy to clean. A detailed tip glue gun because we're going to be working with something small. Now look, this is the 5mm macrame cord. I get it at the Hobby of Lobbies. I always tape it at the end so I can tape and nothing frays. So you can see here the ends fray of macrame cord really easily, and we don't want it to. So what I'm going to do is first create my hanger loop, and that is again with the thicker cord. So if you need something really long or something, just this is where you're going to create it. So once you decide on the length of the hoop, then you're just going to create a very simple knot. And by a knot, I mean what you learned in kindergarten to tie your shoes with. Nothing macrame focused, just yank and pull it tight. So just make sure that your knot is the size of the hanger that you want. Okay, so now we have our loop, we have a little hanger piece, and we're going to use a much longer piece. Let me get the ruler. You're going to use a much longer piece down here because that is what's going to make our hat in just a second. So you're going to measure under the knot, okay? And you can have 14 inches or 16 inches. Just don't do 12 inches. It won't be enough. So here I'm just going to put that same tape back over and I'm going to cut right in the center of that. And again, it's because I do not want this particular piece to unravel. Now we can set that aside and we can work with another piece. All right, so I'm just going to grab another little piece of artist tape, which is masking tape. I get it on Amazon. It comes in a rainbow of colors. I'm going to put the edge right off of my hand, and then I'm going to wrap this around my fingers. 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. 7, 8, and you can do 9 or 10. It's just going to change the width of your beard, like the fullness of your beard. And then again, I don't know why I put the tape on this one. You don't have to. I'm just in the habit of doing it now for all my macrame stuff. So for those of you who want to know, it is 54 inches of the 5mm rope. And again, you can get this at Hobby Lobby. You can get it on Amazon. It is not expensive. All right. So we're going to set that aside. And now we're going to take the 3mm cord. Also, you can get it at Hobby Lobby. You can get it on Amazon. You're going to take 16 inches of that. And again, 16 inches of 3mm. And I'm just going to put a tape on it because I'm used to doing it. And that is going to be how we create our beard. Now, as you can imagine, we're just going to knot that thing in the center. Yeah. See how easy this is? There's literally no macrame in this at all, but we're using the macrame cord. So you can also use cotton rope in various sizes, but I think the macrame cord has a nice like polished look to it versus the cord or versus the cotton rope. We're going to loop that beard through the loop of the hanger. We're going to knot it. There you go, multiple times right next to our other knot, not on top of it. So you can see when I show you, we have a loop, a beard with the two end pieces, it's okay, and then we have a really long piece, okay? That's what we should have. So this is our loop with our little end, which we will blend in, and then we have this really long piece for our hat. Take the loop and the hat out of the way and just cut open the beard pieces. Oh, I forgot one. Oh, I'm cutting off that too, but I forgot one because I can see it right there. It's driving me crazy. Is it driving you crazy? Because I can see it and I didn't get it right there. I will. So make sure you've got all of the loop and the hat pieces out of the way. You can have the thin piece dangling down. It doesn't matter. But now we're just going to protect our surface. Again, These two pieces are out of the way. You can tape them down if you want, but I'm just going to use the slicker brush. I'm going to unravel it first. And the reason I'm going to do that is because it will not pull as much if I unravel it. So I call it the ramen noodle stage of the show. I learned that from another macrame artist here on YouTube. And it's just, it's not tedious, but it goes pretty quickly. You just got to unravel it. Put lotion on your hands afterwards because it can dry your pointer fingers out, but that's it. Now that we have it in the ramen noodle stage, I'm going to pull all the pieces I don't want brushed out and then just go ahead and brush these out. I am holding the knots. So you see that one just pulled. I'm holding the knots to prevent any pulling. You're going to get a really jagged looking beard. Do not worry about it. So we're going to do this side and then we're going to flip it over and do the other side. You'll find one that you missed somewhere, so it's okay just to, capture that one in just a second. See, I missed that one right there, totally and completely. But you can see how much fuller this beard becomes after we brush it out, right? Isn't that insane? I love it. All right, so now we can cut it off later. We don't have to do that right now because we're not quite done in creating everything. This right here is, you can cut this off or you can split it and use it as like a mustache. You can tuck it in and hide it, whatever you would like. I'm just gonna let mine hang here, but again, you can make it a mustache if you want, or cut it off. Okay, so I'm going to determine which side is the front, and then I'm going to build my hat keeping that in mind, okay? So for the hat, here's our hanging loop, and then for the hat, which is this long piece here, you're just going to start wrapping. Now, go get your detailed tip hot glue gun because this is a multi-stage process, because I made a lot of these a year ago and one of them came undone because I didn't glue it as much as I should have. So I'm just going to tell you, you're going to glue and hold this first piece. Again, you're just on the front half of the item. And then you're going to glue and hold as you go around the back of the item too, because if this first one comes undone, it looks less like a hat than just a jumble of cord. So just lesson learned. So as I mentioned, I made these last year. I put some on a garland that I had, and it was so cute. If you cut the beards really short, they are so adorable. But I'm going to keep it long for this one because this is going to be ornaments to match the other ornaments that I made. So I'm just going to, again, loop it right under the previous layer. You see this? Now, as you go out, we're covering that knot. So as you go out, you're actually going to add width to your hat as well. But let's say you don't have the same width. It's okay. Add the glue, you can see, directly to the bottom of the piece atop it and glue it directly to that instead of to the knot. Okay? So you're just stacking this and you're making it wider as we go out. Isn't that easy? These are really easy to make. You can actually make these in an assembly line. And again, it's perfect if you craft like me when you're on vacation and everybody else is sleeping or napping or whatever, and you want to make something. These are great. These are also great if you sell at craft shows. And the reason is because they can buy just one as a package die, or they can buy a whole set. So if you are making them, you can create 6 or 12 of them to sell as a set and get a nice pretty penny. These are all handmade. All right, if you want and you're selling these for a premium price, go ahead and use an embroidery needle or darning needle and go ahead and sew these layers of the hat together. And that way nothing will ever come undone when they store these. That's just a tip if you sell and want to charge a premium. Okay, so as we're going, I'm just adding a little bit of glue right to the piece on top of where I'm adding. So I'm adding the glue to the rope, not to the macrame cord that we brushed out, okay? All the glue is on the rope. So here you can determine if this is your front or back, and we're going to add our nose prior to the last wrap, or you can tuck it up under the last wrap. Just make sure that you are putting it right up under the actual rope. So you can see right here, I'm going to glue it to the rope and a little bit of glue on that macrame cord. And the reason is because I'm using a cabochon, which is a flat back. I think that gives you a lot more grab. Here you can see, and we're going to tuck that right up under there. There we go. So I glued the rope to the rope and the nose to the rope and the nose to the macrame cord that has been brushed out. Now I'm just going to take off this little piece here and glue that down. And you can see, like, we're done, guys, almost, guys and gals. And now we're just going to trim up the bottom and make it all pretty. Now for this one, I am going to give you a hint on macrame. Unravel the very like 1/4 inch and then take the tip of your detail tip glue gun, add glue in between each of those pieces. You can use a finger guard. I'm using my fingernail, but don't burn yourself. And then you can push that flat when you do that. If you unravel a little bit, then you can just add a little bit of glue and just press it up under there with your hot glue gun. Isn't that nice? Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Okay, so now I'm actually just going to brush this back out, see where my beard is. Again, this little piece right here, I'm going to cut it off. Mine just happens to be in the back, so I can cut it off. And now we're going to make our beard look all pretty. Pretty, pretty. All right, so you will need your artist tape for this. If you want to make it exact, you don't have to. All right, so I'm just going to put it onto something with some measurements and make sure it's in the middle. And now I'm going to tape down the bottom of the beard, just making sure it's about the same width on either side. I don't know why that one piece was bothering me. And now we're going to just you can use a rotary like I'm using here, or you can use scissors after you tape it and hold it from the hanger. But I'm just going to use this rotary cutter to make it into a nice V-shaped beard. You can always make different beard shapes. You can do straight across. You can do a U like a Santa, whatever makes you happy. You can also use different color cording of macrame if you want a red hat and a natural beard. No one is stopping you. You can do whatever you want. Okay, I'm just going to remove the tape from this, brush it out, give it a little trim. I have like 1 or 2 little errant pieces. And look, like I said, I'm making a lot of them, but super simple to make. And I would love to hear what you think. Please leave me a comment below. Would you make these? Is this something fun that you think you'd do this holiday season? As always, thank you for being here. Please like, share, and subscribe for more crafty fun.